just,
We're done with it.
Y'all saw I caught myself. I was about to give. It was. Oh my God! I was about to walk into the worst sound bite ever.
Matt Gaetz, a Republican congressman from Florida, went on Steve Bannon's podcast on Wednesday to discuss the upcoming impeachment trial of former President Donald Trump. Let's take a look.
There were some among us who checked to see whether we could be the ones to go defend him in the Senate, because we would be honored to. And the word we got back from House Ethics is that we could not, as sitting members of the
You've
House,
already run that by
go and defend him in the Senate.
Okay, so you know this better, and your theory of this is exactly mine. Go to the low-hanging fruit. Would you then step down from Congress? Would you resign in order to defend the president on the way that you want to defend him?
I love my district. I love representing them, but I view this cancellation of the Trump presidency and the Trump movement as one of the major risks to my people, both in my district and all throughout this great country. Absolutely. If the president called me and wanted me to go defend him on the floor of the Senate, that would be the top priority in my life. I would leave my House seat. I would leave my home. I would do anything I had to do to ensure that the greatest president in my lifetime, one of the greatest presidents our country has ever had, maybe the greatest president our country has ever had,
you're a liar!
Full-throated defense that wasn't crouched down, that wasn't in fear of losing some moderate Republican senator, but that was worthy of the fight that he gave to the great people of this country for 4 years.
Yeah, go off.
The people of, I think, your district would overwhelmingly support you if you said, I'm going to step down to go defend the president against the stealing of this election. I don't think there's any question.
Well, I love the president so much, and I will do anything I can do for this president.
It's really bad.
Maybe in our country. Like what? The
Okay.
How did this
So
dude
Matt
get
Gaetz
elected
is
in the first place?
Matt Gaetz is a congressman from my home state, the district that is literally next to the district that my mother lives in currently. If you go from basically Panama City Beach west to Pensacola,
That's
it. That's Matt Gaetz' district, all the way north, all the way over to Pensacola. That's Matt Gaetz. Those are the people that he said, and it's a very conservative district. I believe it is a R+12 or R+10 district, right? So it's a tough district to win even if you try. But I know 3 PACs right now that randomly called me that are looking for people to primary Matt Gaetz right now. So if you live, listen to what I'm saying now, especially if you're watching this show and you're not hate watching it. If you live anywhere from Panama City to Pensacola, all the way to the Alabama state line, in the state of Florida, please inbox Clickbaity Political Thirst Trap, because we are already interested in your black, white, red, whatever ass. That's they got 20 left to run for office, because we need people to primary Matt Gaetz. And if he decides to step down, he decides to step down. But when it comes down to that district, even if you have a hard time winning, we need some responsible people to actually create a bench of folks to run against that guy. There's a certain city councilwoman in Pensacola that I think will be perfect for it, but we'll talk about that later.
Mondale, look.
Somebody else go, please.
Okay. Man, Matt Gaetz, he should not have been elected in the first place, right? But he is. And he's hitching his coattails to, well, actually, he's hitching his future to Donald Trump's coattails, because he knows he's a extremely mediocre. Like, there's levels to this mediocrity, and Matt Gaetz supersedes in that mediocrity. And he understands that he has no future in this country unless he just rides on Donald Trump's. Can I use mine here? Dick, yeah, right. He's riding on Donald Trump's dick, and so he's going to keep. I guess I used to, but I mean, let's just call a thing, right? Yeah, and so this is him using Steve Bannon, who is Donald Trump's henchman, right? And he's using that to just show and lavish his love on Donald Trump, because he thinks the best thing, and he's right, Matt Gaetz, you're correct. The best thing that you're going to get for the rest of your life, because of your level of mediocrity, is a chance to serve Donald Trump.
But here's the thing, because we're going to call a thing. We don't even know, we don't even know what you've done. Like, honestly, it's like Jimmy Neutron, if he wants to go and be with Donald Trump, go do that. If you want to go and, well, you haven't even done anything that's been so great, so monumental, so memorable, but part of your role in the insurrection and the terrorist attack. But other than that, you over here like acting like this man is your God. And in reality, a lot of people like him, Antufas, the people who live in those sketchy areas, where I live right now, all those people who love Trump, they're the ones that will say things like that too. There are people who literally will die, as we saw for Donald, in the name of Donald Trump. And Jimmy Neutron is one of those people. So I think that what he's saying is not even important, but it's just shocking that he's saying it as if he's being so patriotic. I'm going to die for my president. I'm going to make sure that we put his legacy in the history books. We cannot cancel his presidency. We can't act like it never happened. Who can't? Who? Bye.
Look, more Jimmy Neutron or more Beavis and Butthead? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Beavis and Butthead. My next to the youngest brother was sentenced 17 years in prison because of defending himself from a hate crime. He was 15 years old when he got locked up. His baby was almost 1. She's 16 years old now. He has 1 more year. Every time I see Steve Bannon on TV or being considered a serious actor in America's politics, it makes me almost want to cry. The idea that this guy who is responsible for Donald Trump's thuggery is free. It's free. And all my brother did was defend himself from 2 white guys who were committing a hate crime. They called him nigger, they spit on him, and he reacted. This is torture to my soul. And for this guy who took an oath supposedly to defend this Constitution against enemies that are foreign and domestic, talking about Matt Gaetz, to be on this show with Bannon is the height of white privilege. To sit here and say that you would defend a president who tried to tear down your government, who pays your checks and insurance for your family, is the height of white supremacy. Matt Gaetz is slime, not Nickelodeon slime, infected snot from the sickest person's nose. I hate him. I hate him. I hate white supremacy because this idea that this is America's Voice.News is a thing because of whiteness. How is Bannon serious? How is this real? How is this real?
That's a really good point.
White supremacy is profitable. White supremacy, they will pour billions of dollars into white supremacy in order to protect themselves and to prop it up. So,
hey, if y'all want to see a good example of it, I just want to bring back a reminder, a very important reminder of a moment in Matt Gaetz' timeline that probably will trigger Mondale a little bit more, but we talked about it already. And that is his interaction with Cedric Richmond.
Oh, yeah.
Just for people, I wish we had the video, but just Google Cedric Richmond and Matt Gaetz.
I am absolutely sitting here offended and angry as hell. And I want to explain to what we always say is how we refer to each other, my good friends on the other side. By the time I'm finished, you will be clear that we are not good friends. I am not interested in moving at a snail's pace. I am not interested in a watered-down bill that mandates nothing. I'm not interested in studying Antifa. I'm not even interested in studying the Klan or sovereign citizens right now, because that is not the imminent threat that black men face on a daily basis. And right now, too often, it is law enforcement, those who were sworn to protect and to serve. And so all we're asking today is to deal with that. I don't mind dealing with other pieces of legislation. I don't mind dealing with other issues that you all may have. And what I don't want to leave this conversation with and why I'm speaking now instead of later is because I don't want you all to leave here saying, well, we didn't know. We didn't know that's how you felt, Cedric. I want it to be crystal clear, and I will give you the benefit of the doubt that it is an unconscious bias that I'm hearing, because at worst it's conscious bias, and that I would hate to assume from any of the people on the other side.
Will the gentleman yield?
Sure.
I appreciate your passion. Are you suggesting that you're certain that none of us have non-white children? Because you reflected on your black son and you said none of us could understand.
Matt, stop. I'm not about to get sidetracked about the color of our children. We're talking about black kids. I reclaimed my time.
You said that.
I reclaimed my time. I know.
You want the discussion?
I know that
the gentleman reclaimed his time.
I said I reclaimed my time. I already know that there are people on the other side that have black grandchildren. It is not about the color of your kids. It is about black males, black people in the streets that are getting killed. And if one of them happens to be your kid, I'm concerned about him too. And clearly I'm more concerned about him than you are. So let's be clear about that.
You're claiming you're more concerned for my family than I do? Who in the hell do you think you are?
If the shoe fits.
Listen, you don't know how much we care about our families.
Kick, dog, holler.
You should take those words down. I know you care about your family and love your family.
The gentleman will suspend. The gentleman will suspend. The time belongs to the gentleman from Louisiana.
Cedric, would you yield?
Was that a nerve?
Yeah, you damn
I yield
right
to
it was
the gentleman from Louisiana.